There's mounting criticism against the UK-Rwanda migration scheme, which is said to be violating international laws. The UN Refugee Agency says it's concerned that other European countries may copy this policy. According to the agency, Denmark has already signaled an interest in outsourcing elements of its asylum system to Rwanda. Let's make sense of this for you now, bringing the acting UNHCR representative to the UK, Larry Bottinick, who joins us via our video link from London. It's great to have you on the program, sir. Thanks very much indeed for making time. Help us as a start gain some much needed context. In what ways is this policy problematic?
Thank you, and good morning. This policy undermines the pillar of the global asylum system, which is international cooperation. And in fact, in the Refugee Convention, in the preamble, you'll find international cooperation mentioned. But what this policy is saying, and as you put it, Denmark and the UK are inviting other European states to join, which becomes very dangerous. So it's telling Lebanon, which is already very fragile and collapsing under the weight of its own citizenry in many areas, that you have to keep all the Syrians and all the Iraqis. And we know you have Palestinians, but keep everyone. Kenya, which has a huge number of Somalis and South Sudanese and Congolese, you keep 100%. And the prosperous states don't need to take any. And I'm not sure why those states would keep their borders open if that's, the policy itself. We find it unnecessary. There's no emergency here in the UK. The UK is at the end of a terminus. So if 85% of the asylum seekers stay in developing countries, very few get to Europe and even fewer get to the UK. This is at the end of the line geographically. So it's middling or less than middling per capita. You have more in Germany and Spain and France. And there's other ways to deal with the travel over the French Channel, which we're happy to assist them with.
Mm-hmm. It's a question that's been asked before, but remind us what interest Rwanda, for instance, has in seeing through with this policy.
Right. Well, I don't want to speak for the Rwandans. I think the president has spoken about helping stranded Africans in Europe. But among the top 10 countries of origin that have asylum seekers in the UK, only 2 are from Africa. So in the top 5, you only have Eritrea. And then you have Sudan much lower down the list. So we're speaking really of Iranians, Iraqis, Syrians, Afghans, Albanians, Vietnamese. So it's not clear to us that integration will be so easy, both linguistically to go into Rwanda and start to make a life, even if you're given accommodation, will be very difficult. So we're afraid that people will continue to be on the move. They either won't have a future there or won't perceive that they have a future there. And before the UK, I was posted in Israel, which also sent people to Rwanda, Eritreans primarily. So I feel like I've seen this movie before.
Yeah.
And the Eritreans moved on through Uganda, South Sudan, Sudan, Libya, trying to cross the Mediterranean. All very hazardous movements, much more hazardous than the Channel. And some made it to Europe, and some, we lost contact with. So, for practical reasons, we think it's a bad idea as well.
Yeah, and I guess that's why it should come as no surprise that there are already legal challenges against the policy itself. It's challenges that the Home Secretary actually said she anticipated. In fact, she's also said that because of this, it'll take a while before it's introduced. Help us better distill, I guess, the thrust of the arguments that you'll be making as you take this to court.
Right. Well, it'll be law firms and civil society that leads on taking it to court. When we intervene, it's more as a friend of the court,
right.
Kind of a neutral body that talks about international law points. So we don't represent that particular client. And if it's domestic law, then, we don't come in. So some of the litigation looks like it'll be about data protection, which is a big issue in the UK. That won't be for UNHCR really to speak on. But it's not clear what the criteria will be for people and who's suitable to be sent to Rwanda other than not Rwandans. And so that's the sort of thing that should be transparent. If you have 5 days, which is not enough and certainly not very much, to argue that Rwanda is not suitable for you, you have to know something about Rwanda, and you have to know what's going to be provided to you, what won't be provided to you, medicines, things like that. So if you don't know the criteria, then how do you argue Rwanda is not appropriate? So that might be a subject more where UNHCR might have some impact and some value in coming in.
Rwanda's own track record also leaving a lot to be desired, at least insofar as the treatment of migrants. Thanks for helping us better understand the story. Really appreciate your time.